So today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the movie adaptation of the book It Ends With Us, written by Colleen Hoover. I watched this movie recently and I actually read the book before I watched the movie. So I'm actually excited to be talking about this adaptation. I love reading books and then seeing them come to life in movies. So today I'm going to be just sharing my thoughts on the movie adaptation of It Ends With Us. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hey, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Rachel here. As always, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a thing. You can like this video as well so that it is referred to other viewers, and also just leave a comment to be kind. All right, disclaimer, I'm shooting this video in the hopes that it comes out well because I'm not using my secondary camera. I'm using my primary camera and I can't even see what's going on, and I don't have a mirror behind my phone. So I'm just hoping that everything comes out okay. But I guess we'll see when I'm done ranting. I can't even see how many minutes, I can't even see anything. So I'm just shooting blind. And I usually don't do this. But yeah, let's get into it. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience watching the movie adaptation of It Ends With Us. It Ends With Us is a book written by Colleen Hoover in 2016. It was published in 2016. Actually, I read this book last year and I really, really loved it. Honestly, it made me cry. I got so emotional while I was reading the book because it was so, I don't know, like she wrote it to her. I don't even really know why people hate Colleen Hoover. There's this huge controversy that happens on, anyway, that's why I'm not really active on TikTok. That happens on TikTok a lot with Colleen Hoover. It's almost the way people jump up and down when you hear about J.K. Rowling. Like, I don't even understand. And I stay away from a lot of book conversations that border on like controversies and just slamming people's personalities or anything hate related. You'll never see that, come from my channel or from me, or I won't be like part of the bandwagon. Like, if you don't like a book, just say you don't like the book. There's nothing about coming after an author, like trying to insult the person's character or their family. Anyway, that's just by the side. So there's a lot of controversy riding on Colleen Hoover. But in any case, I actually really enjoyed the book when I read it. And I'll just give a little summary of what It Ends With Us. That's the book, what it's about. And I just got this off the internet because I couldn't really see any short summary. But basically, it's about Lily, this lady called Lily Bloom. And her father dies, and basically she goes for his funeral. And after his funeral, she goes up on a rooftop of an apartment building and she's just like looking out. She's just sitting on the ledge. It's something that she likes to do, but she doesn't even live in that apartment building. Oh, by the way, should I give disclaimers that there might be some spoilers? I really like to do non-spoiler book reviews where I'm like, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But hopefully, as you're watching this, you've already watched the movie and you're going to tell me what you thought about it. But I'll try not to give too many spoilers. Anyway, so she gets up to the rooftop and she's just sitting there pondering about her life, and then she meets this guy who just walks in and hits a table. He's angry about something and his name is Ryle. And before you know it, they start having a conversation and they're talking, and just that first conversation, they get so deep, with each other, just sharing so many intimate details about each other, and they get to know more about each other. Before you know it, he keeps on like putting pressure on her, saying he doesn't really do relationships, he just wants things casual with her. And she's like, no, please, I'm not looking for anything casual. I actually want a relationship. I believe in love and all of that. Anyway, he continues to wear her down, but then she's like, whatever, I'll see you around. But they're all in the same city. So it's like, she might still bump into him, but it's like, whatever, it's not going to work. I'll see you around. Then she has this dream of opening up a flower shop, and then she's able to secure a lease in an apartment. So while she's like setting it up, the place is really old and dirty and full of so many things. So while she's setting it up, there's this seemingly rich woman who walks in with an expensive bag. And then she's like, oh, what's going on here? And then Lily goes, oh, I'm setting up like a flower shop and everything. And then the woman is like, oh, I don't really like flowers, but hey, I mean, do you need some help? And then Lily now goes, oh, yeah, I need some help. And then before you know it, this woman now ends up basically working with Lily. But the woman is very rich. She doesn't even need the money, but she just ends up working with Lily to bring that flower shop to life. Now, it now turns out that that woman is Ryle's sister. So Lily and Ryle's sister now become very good friends, and over time they even become best friends. And so obviously because of all that closeness and everything, Ryle is always in her life a lot, and then she falls in love with him and they start dating. Now, Ryle has never really done serious relationship type things, but he's willing to try, right? Because, okay, yeah, he has met Lily and he's like, okay, let me just try. And so he tries and they start dating and everything seems so perfect. In fact, he asks her to marry him and then they all seem so rosy, everything good. But then along the line, a lot of things now happen in their picture perfect relationship where we're exposed to like the past um from Lily's life when Lily was a teenager and she met this guy who is her first love called Atlas, and she was really in love with Atlas. That was her first love, and they really had a lot of intimate moments together, but life went on and she never saw Atlas again. He joined the military, then he opened up his own restaurant, and as life will have it, one day when Ryle and Lily go to a restaurant with Ryle's sister and her husband. They go to go and celebrate something, and then that restaurant now happens to be Atlas's restaurant, and he owns the restaurant. And they go there, and then they basically catch up. Before you know it, they're catching up on each other to know how they're doing, and all of that. And basically, Atlas now enters back into Lily's life to the obvious jealousy of Ryle, who is like, but then along the line, he starts getting abusive. He has this anger issue. And then we find out some stories about Ryle as to why he's the way he is and all of that. But the long and short is that eventually, Ryle and Lily, they have a baby, but then Lily now asks for a divorce and she's like, no, it ends with us. Like, and this is because Lily's parents actually like Lily's mom was in an abusive marriage, and Lily grew up seeing her mom in a very, very abusive marriage, but her mom still stayed. Her father used to abuse her, and Lily would literally walk in on her father beating her. So she had that thing where she's like, I'm never going to end up like my mom. I'm never going to end up like my mom. And then she ends up meeting this guy who is abusive, and then she then decides to leave him after she has a baby for him. So it's like this really nice book with a very strong message on domestic violence, abuse, and things like that. I really don't understand why the book had so much controversy, because a lot of people were saying, oh, she romanticized domestic violence. I just feel like she wrote a really good book with very strong characters that you couldn't just help but fall in love with. And so I don't really understand why everybody was like, really mad at her and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just the way it goes sometimes, right? Yeah, so that's for the book. So that whole It Ends With Us is where Lily's in the hospital with her newborn baby girl. And then she asks Ryle for a divorce. Mind you, Ryle is like, the way Colleen Hoover writes Ryle is like, this man is literally so perfect. It's just that, oh, he's passionate. And so in the passion comes out of the, whole abuse and violence and everything like that. So I think that's where people had that issue with. But actually, Colleen Hoover said that she was writing that from her experience, also growing up where she grew up in an abusive household and her mom was abused. So that's just a background of the book. Now, I watched the movie last week, I think Thursday or Friday, with my friend Christabel. And it was very, Christabel always has all the tea about what's going on TikTok because, well, apparently she's like on TikTok a lot. So she has all the tea, even the ones that I don't even know. But it was just so nice watching the movie adaptation. And I think I would give it a strong 9.5 over 10. I was very, very impressed. I thought the casting was amazing with Blake Lively, who can do no wrong and just looked so amazing. I loved Lily's wardrobe. Like, it literally modeled how the way the book was. It was so amazing. Like the whole vintage, esque kind of fashion, that kind of thing. It was so amazing. Of which I heard that Blake Lively said she got a lot of the clothes from her own personal wardrobe. But I love the casting. I love that Blake Lively was Lily. I love like Justin Baldoni was um Ryle. He really acted it well. He had like this dark, neurosurgeon, like good looking, everything perfect kind of look. And he really channeled the whole like passionate, kind of vibe about him, like dark, passionate. The way they write all these romance books with his dark, smoldery eyes. Or whatever. I thought it was really amazing. And I like the fact that I love movie adaptations like that literally stick to the book. Don't come and be bringing your brand new ideas, and your ideas are just all over the place. Just stick to the book. Like, literally develop the script out of the book and leave it there for us. All you're just supposed to do is bring it to life. And I feel like that's what they did. It was simply amazing. I also cried for this one. To be honest, I don't know why I cried, but I also cried. I just feel like, I mean, if you define this book like by what I will call romance novel, yes, you can say that Ra was so in love with her. Obviously, in the real world, I don't really think that some of the things that he did was like love. Like, I mean, I'm just like whatever. But there's actually a story as to why he was the way he was and why, or some of the things that mentally affected him and traumatized him as a child, which made him always lash out in anger. I think the only thing that I just didn't like about the movie was like I expected more scenes on the domestic violence because that's actually something that people go through. That's something that is a reality. So it's like shying away from it because I'm hearing that in the controversy, Blake and Colin are like trying to make it into a romance movie, and then Justin is like, no, it's actually a movie that tackles domestic violence. And I'm like, yeah, it could be both. Why does it have to be one side? Because it shows the love, that existed between Lily and Ral on the one hand, and it also showed the love that existed between Lily and Atlas on the other hand. And it was just so amazing. I mean, at the end, Lily and Atlas sort of end up together. And I think there's another book, It Starts With Us. I need to go and read that one, and I'm going to review it because I also hear that there's a movie coming out on that one, but I'm very excited about it. But yeah, I really enjoyed the movie adaptation. I think the casting was amazing. I think the bringing to life of the characters was amazing. And I think the tackling of the most important theme of the book, other than love, family, and all those things, which was domestic violence and abuse, was actually handled very well. I would have, like I said, I would have liked to see more scenes of the domestic violence, which the book also explored. But I thought it was channeled perfectly, and I cried. I really loved it. I really, really loved it. I really think that Colleen Hoover wrote a really beautiful book that addressed something that was important. And I mean, it's a romance novel to an extent. So the way they wrote the love, it was just like I wouldn't define that as love, but whatever. That's the way the world reads romance novels and defines it as love. Like you guys meet on the first day and you're already like flying into the sheets with each other. It's like, okay, I mean, let's call it lost, but whatever. For the purpose of a romance book, let's call it love, as they call it, right? And I think that was really channeled well. So yeah, if you've read the book or you've watched the movie, let me know in the comments if this is something that you're going to watch. For those of you who don't like to read the book and you say, I'll watch the movie, oh yeah, this is a movie for you. So let me know in the comments if this is something that you're going to watch or if it's something that you're going to read. And if you've read It Starts With Us, please let me know as well. What does It Starts With Us look like? I need to look for that book and I need to read it. And I'm going to also read that one as well so that when the movie comes out, I wonder whether it will be Blake Lively or whoever. I don't even do research on all these things, like in terms of when it's going to come out, when it is. I'm just like, whenever the movie comes out, I'll watch it. This one was the movie came out early August, and I'm watching it now, like maybe last week, 2 weeks later, or 3 weeks later, and it's fine. Whenever the other one comes out, I'll watch it as well. Yeah, let me know what you think, and I will see you in my next video. Hopefully, as I'm looking at this, I have been able to film this video and I've not just been talking to myself, and it has actually lasted all the way to the end. Hey God, I beg. I don't want to have to shoot this again. But yeah, I hope this has lasted to the end because, like I said, I'm using my primary camera, so I can't really see anything. But I will see you in my next video. So take care. Bye.